All right. Hello and welcome to another video about the No Meta League. 6 months roughly after the first season, we have a second season. Very excited to begin posting content from that. There's already a video up. There's going to be a couple more videos coming soon. Lots of content going to be coming out of this league. So first off, we are bigger and better. We have upgraded to 14 players from our original 6. That's going to make this thing last a lot longer, which means a lot more content. And with this many people, we're going to see even more weird deck lists, even more jank, even less meta, which is what we want here. And we've got a new and improved ban list to match the new format. As you can see, we've got a lot of the top meta decks, but we've also got some decks that might look out of place here. And the reason for that is I do not want to take any decks off just yet. This is about spotlighting decks that never got a chance to shine. If I just unban former meta decks like Leonore or Prison, I'm really just letting those decks shine again, and those are already decks we've already seen. I want to show off the decks that nobody has seen because they never had a chance because they were gate-kept out of the meta by the top tiers. So for the beginning of this, I have not taken anything off from the last season. I have only added stuff. So let's take a look over at Keter Sanctuary to start us off. We've got Aichi-Kan immediately banned the moment I made this list. It was the first thing I typed. Everybody knows that this deck is really, really good. Best deck in the format in English, second best deck in the format in Japan. Just really brutal. Really doesn't have any weaknesses. Just a hyper consistent beat down mid range deck that has messed up guard restrict as well as hard searching for Saragown for early lanes for hitting for 23k power. It's overall just really unpleasant to play against, and it's everywhere. We've all seen this list. Then Blanemire Phantom. This one hasn't really had as much time to shine, but this deck is really strong. And the main concern here is that if Aichi-Kan was banned, that Blanemire Phantom would just take its place because this deck is actually really solid. It gets a lot of compression. It hits pretty decent numbers. It's got crit on rear guard. It's probably the best Crimson Moon deck, in my opinion, at least. This deck is really solid. It's a nightmare to face against. And it can take you to deck out, although you can also deck this deck out if you don't turbo through your deck. Then we got Rezael, previously banned. Same with Minerva. These are decks that were former top tiers that just I have no interest in seeing come back. I don't think anybody else does either. Then we have our Dragon Empire ban list. We've got Kaikon banned immediately. This is probably the strongest Dragon Empire deck, or second strongest, depending on who you ask. It's a really solid aggro deck. It can hard search for pieces. It's got a lot of card draw. It has a devastating double Persona Ride turn with double Vanguard swing, and it can pivot into a 5-attack deck that also wipes your front row. So it's got a lot of strengths, and when this deck goes first, it's a nightmare to fight against. It's just way too powerful. Then we have my favorite deck, Nirvana, also on this ban list. Nirvana is a 5-attack deck from turn 3 or from turn 4 onwards. Turn 3 if you're going second. It can do 5 drive checks once it's on grade 3 while also killing most of your board. This deck has hyper consistency now with the new support it's got. It has 12 Heart Searchers in the deck, so it can find pretty much any piece it needs whenever it wants. This deck thins really fast because all those Heart Searchers are reusable. And, well, at least Ars Virina and Operagia are reusable, so you can get all the search targets out of your deck very quickly. And then from that point on, your deck is just like Persona Rides, Triggers, and Perfect Guards. And that means that you are going to trigger sack your opponent. And it's not even sack at that point. It's just math. So it's a really strong deck. It hits big thresholds. It can kill on turn 3 going second sometimes. It can devastate you turn 3 going first if it gets good triggers with its triple drive. And it even has late game scaling in the form of Ars Virina, which turns your drop zone into original dress and gets power for every card underneath it. And that card regularly hits into the 60s in the late game and is a good way to pivot into a win con that doesn't deck you out once you're below 10 cards in deck. So this deck kind of has it all. It does have some brick potential, and it does suffer if it doesn't hit triggers, but it has all the tools it needs to not brick and to hit those triggers. So it's gotta go. It would be way too strong for this league, considering that it's topping frequently right now. Then we have Bavsagra. Bavsagra is still a pretty strong deck, and it's banned because of the previous season, but it probably should stay banned. Bafsagra without having to fight Ichikon or Kaikon or the other top tiers in a low power non-meta format, it would probably dominate, even though it's been severely nerfed by banning. This deck has got to stay on the ban list. Same with Virgilla. This deck has been crippled by the ban list in Standard, but in the no meta league, it would still be really hard to fight, and Virgilla can still win even against Standard decks as long as it wins on like the second or first on the first Persona ride if you're going second, or on the second Persona ride if you're going first. It just only has 2 Elf Knights to work with. As long as you don't damage one, you're fine. And then we've got Brantgate over here. We've got Prison banned, banned from a previous format where it was doing a lot better. Probably still staying banned because Prison really beats up off meta decks. B Heroes banned from a previous ban list. It is a really scary deck that I think has a lot of underrated competitive potential. This deck can do something like 8+ attacks in one turn if it has a lot of counterblast. It's hyper consistent at finding all its pieces. It has tons of compression, and it can do some crazy early rush, and it can even grade 2 game without really giving up pressure or card draw. So the deck is very strong, probably needs to stay on there, but we'll consider reevaluating it in the future. I think in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do a reevaluation of this ban list. We'll talk about taking stuff off of it with the player base. Then we go into Stoicheia, which has Regiregnus right off the top. Banned! That deck's got to go. Way too strong. It's a top contender right now as we speak. It's probably the second best deck in the format in English, and it is continuing to still be a meta threat well into the future in the Japanese format. This deck is probably topping right now in Japan as we speak. It's really good. 6 attacks going first is absurd, and it also hits crazy high shield values because the grade 2s in the deck have extra shield, and the grade 3 Athanasios has extra shield. Both one of those being a 10k and the other being a 15k in the mid game onwards. It's just got so much inflated shield value, and it has basically no reason to call anything from hand ever. It just recycles its units from the drop zone, and thus is able to conserve everything in hand and build up a lot of defense. This deck kind of has it all. It has a slight brick potential, but it's otherwise very consistent, and it's very good at digging for the pieces it's missing because it plays 4 Philander, and the Maedith grade 2 is able to check the top 5 and get pieces. It also hard searches its order, and that means it's very unlikely that this deck bricks, and when it doesn't brick, it's very strong. It's basically hit defensives or lose the game on the spot. Then we have Barracuda. This one has been a bit of a controversial one. A lot of people in this league disagree with me on this one, but I think this deck is actually really strong. It has multiple tops to its name, and it's competing in a format in Japan with Yakuza, and in English, it hasn't quite lived up to the same potential, but it's still a deck that hits tremendous numbers, is very consistent, searches out a lot of its pieces easily, compresses pretty hard with its own self-mill, and can hit absurd numbers. So I think this deck has personally got to stay on, but it's going up for debate in 2 weeks to the players of my league to decide, because we are a democracy here. And then Leonorn, this deck was banned from before. It was at one point a very strong, very degenerate deck that could kill while the opponent was on grade 2, or could immediately win on turn 3 going second, abusing the fact that it gets multiple attacks, huge Vanguard swings, and the ability to duplicate power with its front row attackers means that you can play that one grade 1 order to get 5k for each of your grade 1 or less rear guards, and stack it all onto something like a Philander and have a gigantic booster that also can have its power duplicated or copied both of those words mean the same thing. That power gained by the grade 2s and the grade 1s in the front row, making for very devastating early turns that just sap all your resources out and likely just kill you right off the bat. It was a very threatening, nightmarish deck. This one has been probably the most requested by my players to take off the ban list, but I am unsure of whether it'll run over this lower power format without the big dogs to check it. I've considered taking it off if I also ban the grade 1 order, but currently there is no single card bans in this format with the exception of the Overtrigger. As you can see in the bottom left, the Overtrigger is banned because we also hate the Overtrigger. There's no reason to have it if you can avoid it, and this is a casual format for fun, so we took that out immediately. Then we have Zereth Phantom. This is the newest edition of the ban list. I just banned this 2 days ago, or 1 day ago, actually. This deck just has a lot going for it that makes it hard to fight with a low power format. It has decent consistency. It's got recursion. It has compression. It gets the ability to put back 4 triggers in the late game to guarantee drive checks. It's kind of nasty, and it hits pretty solid numbers too. These things make it not quite good enough to thrive in the current high power standard format, but make it devastating against weaker decks. This could easily be a gatekeeper deck in standard, where it keeps anything below this deck's power level out of the format. And in the no meta league, everything would be below this deck's power level, and thus it would gatekeep basically everything. So this deck has been voted out by my players. Then we have Dark State's ban list. We have Odium, still a top tier contender. When this deck goes first, it's basically unbeatable. Then we have Heartluru, banned from a previous format, probably still banned for now because I think it's still been topping in this BSF format. Blangdemeyer banned mostly for its unpleasantness, and because it has previously been a solid deck. Nobody wants to see this one come back, I think. Then we have, over in Lyrical Monasterio, just Chris Rain. There is basically no lyrical tops, and Chris Rain is the only thing that is even remotely threatening in this standard format, so Chris Rain got the axe. This one could come off, just because I don't think any lyrical deck has the potential to be oppressive in this format. Lyrical is in desperate need of some support, and they need to do it in such a way that it's not just one deck is allowed to be good. They need to do it so that multiple lyrical decks can be contenders in the format. It's a nation that some people are diehard fans of and only play, and those people deserve to have a chance to actually compete without their entire nation being nothing but underpowered jank. So, that's the ban list. And, like I said, we already have videos up. I have been delaying uploading them because I am just a dude doing this. I am not a professional or anything like that. But we're going to have videos coming out at least every week. I'm going to try to get 2 recorded matches up on the channel every week. My own match, and then one that I can spectate. I've already got videos that I haven't uploaded yet that need to go up on the channel. And week 2 just finished, so we're going into week 3, actually. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me. And I'm still going to be doing my deck profiles. Those will be going up on the days that I don't do league content. And yeah, so No Meta League is going strong. I've doubled the membership, and everyone seems to be having a good time, from what I can tell, in this league, except for maybe the one guy who I've banned almost every deck he owns. He might not be having as good a time, but he's still winning, so I don't know what he... so I think it's all fine. But this is a great experiment to try. I recommend giving this a shot at your locals. Maybe don't do the round-robin format I'm doing if you have more people, because this rapidly becomes too long. Our tournament is already going to be 3 months to conclude. I'm already talking to people about ways to shorten it, maybe into Swiss rounds or something like that. But for now, round robin, that way everybody gets a chance to play everybody, making for a really solid league experience. And I'm hoping that the next time I post a video about this in Season 3, that we've got even more people. I think there's a lot to look forward to. And I think we've already seen some really unusual deck choices come out of this. Not all of those was I able to record, but I'm hoping to get more videos up. Some of these games are webcam games, so some of these will be Discord footage. But more stuff going up. The league is continuing to thrive, and I couldn't be happier. And after you watch this, there's going to be a video being uploaded literally right after I finish uploading this one. So stay tuned. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, or whatever. I don't like doing that. I feel gross just asking. So that's all for now. I'll see you next time.